Good day to Dr. Shawal and my fellow friends. Today we will be presenting about the impact of deforestation towards the environment in South America. The deliberate clearance of forested terrain is known as deforestation. Forest has been raised throughout history and into modern times to make room for agriculture and animal grazing, as well as to obtain wood for fuel manufacture and construction. Deforestation has radically changed the world landscape. Approximately 2,000 years ago, 80% of Western Europe was forested. As for today, there is only 34%. Between the 1,600, there are almost half of the wood in the northern section of North America were cut down for timber and farmland. And according to the UN Food and Agriculture Organization 2020, South America lost an average of 2.6 million hectares of forest every year between 2010 and 2020. In other words, in just a decade, the continent lost an area of forest the size of Ecuador. Loggers and people clearing lands for crops have long been attacking forests. Natural factors such as climate change, forest fire, and tree loss due to the disease or insect have also contributed to their extinction. The area inhabited by forests globally dropped by 1% between 1990 and 2015, with the majority of the losses occurring in the tropics.
My name is Muhammad IRFAN bin NORDIN. Today I want to present about the factors deforestation on environment for the South America. So the first factor is climate change. According to a report by the Ministry of Environment 2022, in January 2022 was the hottest month in the Colombian Amazon in a decade. Furthermore, it is leading to an increase in forest fires in the southeastern region and most likely impacting air quality in the capital Bogota. Besides, low rainy season and is caused by anthropic activity, that is human activity. The second factor is the influence of the wind. Strong winds have proven to be a problem over the weekend in the fight against the Tremont Creek forest fire west of Kamloops. The fire has reached the city, but no structures have been destroyed. Furthermore, thick smoke and ash cover much of the city as wind rose in the area. The last factor is criminal gang. Criminal gangs are causing the worst wildfires in Colombia state in a decade. It is because 6 of the 70 suspects shown on the poster have been arrested and charged with environmental crimes. So, the government blames the smoldering fires concentrated in central and southern Colombia.
So I will present for the impact. So the first impact is climate change. So extensive and uncontrolled deforestation activities have a major impact, which is called climate change. So the lack and loss of trees in the forest causes an area to become hot or experience a sudden increase in temperature. So this activity causes the release of large amounts of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere and contributes to global warming, thus leading to climate change. These accidents affects the populations, whether they will experience extreme drought or rain in the long run. Not only the drought and extreme rains, the health of the population is also affected, and other activities are also limited due to the extreme heat. Alright, the second is a lack of oxygen supply. So the forest serve as a oxygen supplier to all life on Earth, namely humans and animals. So oxygen supply will decrease if the number of trees in the forest decreases. This is because during the process of photosynthesis, plants will use carbon dioxide to make their own food and release oxygen into the air. Meanwhile, humans and animals also need oxygen to survive and release carbon dioxide into the air. The activities and movement of humans and animals will be limited and possibly even fatal to them. So this clearly shows that the forests are the main supplier of oxygen and they are interdependent with each other for ecosystem stability. Okay, the last is soil erosion. So the lack of trees in the forest causes soil erosion to occur easily due to climate change, especially heavy rains in an area that lack trees. There will be soil erosion because the soil structure is not strong due to the absence of tree roots to hold the soil structure and also to absorb the water. The leaves and branches of trees in the forest also play a role in blocking rainwater and slowing down the flow of rainwater on the soil surface so that the soil is difficult to erode. This clearly shows that the forests play an important role in helping to prevent the occurrence of soil erosion that can claim the lives of the surrounding population. That's all. Thank you.
The first initiative is the Bond Challenge. At last year, 8 Latin American countries promised to reforest 20 million hectares of lands, signaling a shift in policy. The vow, dubbed the Bond Challenge, is part of the global effort to plant enough trees to reduce carbon dioxide emission by 1 million tons each year. The Bond Challenge is a global initiative aimed at restoring 150 million hectares of damaged and deforested land by 2020 and 350 million hectares by 2030. In Latin America, the Bond Challenge regional policy process has taken on a strong and visible phase of practical implementation and a broad interchange of state experience. The second initiative is the Glasgow Leader Declaration on Forest and Land Use. Leaders commit to increase their common efforts to conserve forests and other terrestrial ecosystems and speed their restoration through the declaration, as well as to support the international and local sustainable trade and development policies. The speech also emphasized the empowerment of local population, particularly indigenous people, who are frequently harmed by forest exploitation and degradation. The declaration also aspired to put in place and revamp agriculture policies and programs in order to eliminate hunger while also benefiting the environment. Leaders agreed to assist the alignment of financial flow with worldwide goals to reverse loss and degradation, as well as initiatives to speed the transition to a greener economy as part of the pledge. The third is the initiative 20 by 20. In 2014, Latin American and Caribbean countries together account for 27% of the world forest banded together and pledged to restore 20 million hectares of damaged land by 2020. The initiative 20 by 20, with the region valuable ecosystem under constant attack, 18 countries have formed the initiative, which has a more ambitious goal of protecting and restoring 50 million hectares by 2050. Many diverse ways are included in their notion of restoration. They explore various actions that promote the functionality of land in a sustainable way, in addition to ecological restoration. This intervention or management measure can occur in a variety of environments, including grassland, mangrove, and agriculture lands. The technique to restoration in this ecosystem are diverse, as are the rising challenges.
So for the limitation and challenges of the deforestation is, number one is a weakness in the economy, because many countries struggle to secure fundamental resources and have a limited of income. Government are seeking a new ways to diversify their economies. Some countries does not have as many earth or natural resources as other countries. As a result, people must engage in other economic pursuits such as agriculture to supplement their income. Agriculture necessitates the utilization of the particular places as well as extensive land use. To address the country and the people economic requirement, an administration or the government will use forest logging to develop more agriculture farming. So the number two is a law enforcement which is inadequate. Each country has its own environmental regulation and legislation, as well as a guideline for the protection forests from the illicit logging. But this does not appear to be properly enforced. When the local community environmental resources are depleted as a result of unmanaged logging, as well as posing a hazard to them, such as floods is a nightmare. It becomes a nightmare. If there is no enforcement capable of the enforcing strong fine and legal action, those with vested interests to list a logging to become for their income. As a result, the government must take an extreme measure by enacting the existing law and raising the fine and penalties for the lawbreaker. And then for the last one is demand on the global scene. The final concept is global demand, which is increasing as the world population grows, putting pressure on the fundamental human requirements like food, shelter, and clean water. As a result of the rise, logging activity around the world have increased to suit human requirements. Some wood are cut down to make a way for crops and agriculture in order to provide food for humans, while others cut down to make space for dwelling. Alright, that's all from me. Thank you. Alright, so for the conclusion, deforestation damages ecosystems that are crucial to the both wildlife and the people, which will have a negative effect on the both group. The beautiful green forest is the home to some of the most famous animals in the world, including panda and the jaguar, as well as a wide variety of the plant species. But the forest significance does not end here. Like the ocean, forests take in and access the atmospheric carbon dioxide and they act as a crucial barrier against a shift in the climate that cannot be reversed. In other words, support life well beyond the tree line all across the world. Therefore, as a human being, we must preserve and take care of the forest with the excellence so that in the future the community can feel the pleasure and meet their needs with more resources from the forest. Alright, thank you.